Okay, it is Tuesday, February the 6th, and Baller, we're back to talk about some things. Writing things down. I've written down some fun things as of recent. First and foremost, last episode I talked about my mom's sober anniversary. I have successfully completed and ended my dry January. It has been 34 days and I have broken my streak with an espresso martini. And today my brain is feeling a little fuzzy, but I wrote that down. That's something I'm going to remember. Another thing that I wrote down, I love granola. Had granola for the first time today. On God.
No.
Yes.
Impossible.
Yes. I thought that granola was oatmeal, and then I had these crunchy little honey flakes of deliciousness, and I was like, what is this? Granola.
Which is?
Oat?
Yeah, it's oat.
It is an oat? It's just a crunchy oat?
Well, it's oat mixed with some other things, but yes. Hot take, the best cereal might be granola.
You know, in terms of purpose of why we're sharing the things that we're writing down, I continue to become further and further entrenched in the idea that Tuesday is the best place to write things down. And where would you write things down? Like, I love granola, ended my dry January, and last but not least, Tuesday Baller, my handsome co-host over here, has I don't want to say finally. That makes it sound like I'm harboring some resentment towards him.
Which he is.
Somewhat. I'm harboring some resentment. Is looking at user data in terms of perfecting our new onboarding. I'm very proud of Baller for looking at the data. These are things that I write down, and Tuesday is the best place to write things down. Baller, what are you writing down?
I wrote down, Alan completed the World Marathon, otherwise known as the 777 Challenge, in Miami today. He ran a 3-hour, 32-minute and 40-second marathon, which was his 7th in the past 7 days on the 7th continent.
7 marathons, 7 days, 7 continents. That's a really cool thing. Your other thing?
Ask Joe, how much do we love a monkey? Because you saw a monkey on your trip. Do you have an answer to that? How much do we love a monkey?
Little known fact about Tuesday Joe. I actually collected stuffed monkeys up until I was about probably 13, 14 years old, which I think is a little bit too old, but it started with a Build-A-Bear.
Never did Build-A-Bear.
Really? I understand so much more about you now.
I'm older than you.
You're also dead inside. If you would have just built a bear. And from that point on, I continued to collect them. And I think I got up to like 14 monkeys. So yes, I love a monkey. Thank you for writing that down.
When you texted me about it, we hadn't conversed back and forth about it. So I wrote it down because I wanted to remember it. I started it, and that's how it ended up today. You know, you kind of look like a monkey.
Comment below if you think Tuesday Joe looks like a monkey.
I think we all look like monkeys.
All right, so let's get into our week in twos. These are the updates from Twos HQ. In this episode, we have onboarding updates, we have Y Combinator updates, and last but not least, product hunt campaign that we are planning. But Baller, I'll let you kick us off with some onboarding chatter. First and foremost, I guess, sorry, to set the scene, what is onboarding?
New user coming to the app. We are helping them understand the app and how to use the app and how to get the most out of the app.
In terms of architecting such a design. Talk to us about that.
Joe and I have a weekly meeting for 2 hours, work on whatever we believe is most important, or talk about whatever we believe is most important. And a few weeks ago, we did onboarding for 2 hours. And we kind of just walked through what we needed to do, came up with what we thought was the best. Then we got help from our lovely friend and colleague, Nino, who put together some designs. I implemented said designs. Now we are iterating. Now we are looking at data. I actually did a user study right before this meeting on the onboarding.
In terms of firsts in the onboarding, we have the first presence of Tuesday the Toucan, our new mascot. Another first is that we're leaning into smart suggestions as the quickest aha moment for a new user. Baller, do you want to tell us about that user study?
There were a lot of things that she really enjoyed about it. I think that she understood PALs and the AI features very well, but you definitely get to see what is not working. The thing that happened the most was no reading. Users don't read.
Users don't read.
They don't follow instructions.
Ugh.
We were probably 40 minutes in and I go, so I have to ask, why do we not do anything Tuesday tells you to do?
Oh my God, I love it. I love it.
And she was just like, I don't read. And I was like, yep.
We learned this 5 years ago. I'm gonna look it up.
So I searched do not read June 3rd, 2021. Almost 4 years ago.
Almost 4 years.
Still haven't learned that. from 2018 from the book Don't Make Me Think by Steve Krug.
People don't read.
She had a suggestion. Tell me how many steps are going on. Because if it said 1 out of 5, then I would want to do it.
Any other, last high level insights from the user study?
World, as it currently is,
No bueno? No bueno.
doesn't fit the app, is what she said. It's a productivity app. I did ask her about if it were to be more private. She was starting to confuse it with collaborating and like sharing lists between friends.
I love it, and I think that it has a place in the app in the future. But in terms of right now, we're not guiding anyone to understand Two's world. Now on to some Y Combinator talk, just as two guys who like to learn. We're sponges for knowledge. We're sponges for startup info. Y Combinator tends to be a really good and cool accelerator and opportunity, so we are applying. We will release the founder video and the demo probably once the decision is finalized. As a matter of fact, I'm going to read only one answer from our application, just as a little tidbit for the people out there. What is your company going to make? Please describe your product and what it does or will do. Twos is an action-based productivity tool that uses AI to help people capture, organize, and act on any piece of their lives. It improves upon 4 default Apple apps by combining reminders, events, notes, journaling, and tasks in one, and uses AI to supercharge efficiency and automation. In the future, Twos will self-organize information, offer real-time location suggestions, and become a universal platform for writing, remembering, and sharing information. To be honest, when I reread that, sounds a little dense. Finally, update 3, product hunt. Mark your calendars, 2/19/25, and by calendars, I mean write it down in twosApp.com. But the Twos guys and pals personal active lists are going live once again on the product of hunts, and we will be preparing a wonderful video where we will be actually spoofing one of the most viral company videos of all time, Product Hunt. February 19th. We're going to need everyone's help, so we're going to just keep on talking about it. Get excited for Product Hunt. Baller, are you ready for me to tell you a quick story about how writing things down is changing my life?
Please.
My favorite words list. I am now keeping a list of favorite words.
Why don't you give us your top 2's favorite words?
Top 2's favorite words? Umbrage, a feeling of offense or annoyance. She took umbrage at the comment, feeling it was disrespectful to her work. And my second favorite word? Tchotchke, a small decorative object or trinket, often of little value. My grandma's house is filled with quirky tchotchkes.
Also, the restaurant in Office Space that Jennifer Aniston worked at.
Pop quiz, spelled tchotchke.
C.
Nope, you lose. TCHOTCHKE. Writing things down is making me a smarter person. It's helping me remember the things that I learn. I hear words on the radio and from my internet girlfriend, and I write them down. Baller, it's time to time travel. Can I get the time travel sound? I still don't agree that that's the time travel sound. Going
Last time it was...
Yeah, I like that. Time travel is one of the Easter eggs in Twos. When you write down the words time travel, it'll take you to a random day in your twosApp.com. Where are we?
May 5th, 2024.
Cinco de Mayo. Were you getting hammered?
Certainly not. No. I had a lot of things about a former relationship that wasn't going well.
I'm glad that you're vulnerable enough to share those things with us, because I actually find that that's a wonderful use of Twos.
This is funny. Name
redacted.
Redacted. Apologize for thinking Joe and I are gay.
A real apology? Like a legitimate apology?
I think legitimate belief.
That's amazing.
I know. I like to pick things up and throw them away. I just cleaned up a can. I get a point for that, right? Question mark?
I don't think about it.
A point?
I don't think about it in terms of points. I think about it in terms of karma. Listen, where are people writing this stuff down? They're not. They need to do it in Twos. Let's move into top Twos moving options. We are now coming up on the end of our 4th consecutive contract.
Yes.
At our particular apartment in Tampa, Florida. And guess what? Twos guys are ready to make a change. So for this top Twos, we will be doing our preferred moving option. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Still
Just saying.
undefeated.
Baller, your first moving option.
It is San Francisco for YC, so it depends on getting into YC or not, but it would be moving to San Francisco.
Paul Graham, you hear that? We
We-
want it. So my number one is actually kind of cute to go with Two's baller to Spain. España. My number twos is Spain by myself because I want to do it.
My number twos, end lease. You go to Spain. I go to probably something on the west coast of the United States for however long it would be. I don't
Give us a taste. Where do that be?
anywhere in Nevada. I would go probably anywhere in Washington or Oregon or Idaho. I'd maybe do like a Utah.
Where is Idaho?
Maybe a California.
Utah. Salt Lake. That'd
Idaho's
be cool.
next to Washington and Oregon.
Well, that's our top twos moving options. Let's go ahead and close this podcast out with a recent testimonial. OMG, I have only been using this app for a few hours trying to figure everything out. And what can I say? This is hands down the best thing I've ever downloaded. I love this app and that you can buy the upgrades with points. MLA 1004. MLA, thank you very much for your kind testimonial. And on that note, if you have a testimonial that you would like to leave in the comments, if you write things down that you want to share with the world and that we can read on the pod, if you have a question for Two's Baller, feel free to drop it in the comments of this episode. And also, if you know Paul Graham, tell him to give us a ring.
And if you have ever wanted to move somewhere, what would be your top two places to move?
This is the Two's guys saying Two's out.
We love you.
Cut it.